Hello mga sisi! Welcome back to my channel. Now before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to Ruti and Stitch, like our videos, and if you have any requests or any question, just leave a message on the comment box below. Okay? So let's get started. And we're going to make today a quick and easy crochet top that can also be made as a crop top. Now our materials would be 3mm crochet hook, needle, scissor, and we're going to use 2 colors of the 4-ply acrylic in the fill yarn. Okay. Now to start, we're going to make a slip knot using the white color yarn, and then make 65 foundation chains. Now while we're making that 65 foundation chain, I just want to mention that the color combination would be optional. If you want, you can just use one solid color for your project. Now once you're done with your 65 chains, then we're going to start with our first row. To start our row, we have to chain 2, and then from the third chain from your hook, you have to make 1 double crochet, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch for the next 64 chains, or until the end of the row. Now once you've completed that, we're going to start our row 2. To start our row, we have to chain 2, turn, and then make 1 double crochet on each stitch, just like what we have done on row 1, and we have to repeat this until we have 9 rows in total. Now what we're doing today is a bikini top, but if you would like to make a crop top a little bit longer, then you have to make more than 9 rows. You can make at least 15 rows. Okay. Now we have 9 rows here, so we're going to start our decrease. To decrease our stitch, we have to make single crochet on the second stitch of our row, and then chain 1, and then double crochet on each stitch for the rest of the row except for the last 2 stitches. So if you notice, we're only doing the decrease on the start and the end of our rows. Now on the last 2 stitches, we have to make 2 double crochet together. If you don't know how to do this, you can refer to my tutorial for increase and decreasing stitch for crochet 101. Okay? But you can actually just review this video and see how I made that. Now to start the next row, we're going to just repeat what we have done on decreasing the start of our row. So you have to make single crochet on the second stitch of the row, and then chain 1, and then double crochet until the end of the row except the last 2 double crochet of the previous row. Now we're on the last 2 double crochet of the row. So if you remember the single crochet plus chain 1, we're not going to place a stitch on that. So just as a reminder, so we're only going to make the 2 double crochet together on the last 2 double crochet of the previous row. Okay? And then we have to repeat this pattern okay, until we have 21 rows in total. Now once you have completed the 21st row, we're going to lock it and we're going to change color. So lock and then cut the tail. Now to change your color, you have to make a slip knot using the orange yarn and then stitch on the last stitch of the previous row or the 21st row. And then you have to chain 2 and then double crochet on the same stitch, and then chain 1, skip 1 stitch and double crochet on the next stitch. So we're creating a mesh and you just have to repeat this pattern. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch and double crochet on the next stitch. So we have to do this until the end of the row. Now the last stitch for this row will just be a double crochet and you don't have to make that chain 1. And then to start our next row, we have to turn and then single crochet on the next stitch and then make 2 chains. This will serve as our first double crochet plus chain 1. And then we skip 1 stitch and double crochet on the next stitch, and then chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet on the next stitch, and just repeat that pattern until the end of the row. Now once you completed this row, you just have to make another row of this mesh pattern, starting with chain 3 and then use the same pattern of skip 1 stitch and double crochet on the next stitch. Now once you're done with your third row, then you just have to lock and cut the excess yarn. Just make sure that you leave enough tail for weaving. Now, since we already completed the front part of our top, we're now going to make the sides. So we're going to use the white color yarn, make a slip knot, and then you have to slip stitch on the base of the row where we have first decrease. So you can see it here, and then we have to chain 2, and then for each row you have to make 2 double crochet. Since we're doing it on the side, you can see here that you're going to stitch on the row side instead. So just make 2 double crochet on each row. This would be up until you reach the bottom part of your front part. So just make 2 double crochet on each row until you reach that bottom part. Now once you're done with your first row, this would be on your side, we have to make 10 rows of this double crochet. So to start our second row for the side, you have to chain 2 and then double crochet on each stitch until the end of the row, and then you have to do this until you have total of 10 rows. Now that you already completed the 10 rows, then you just have to lock it and cut the excess yarn. Now please remember to leave enough tail for weaving, and you just have to use the same pattern to do the other side. Now once you completed both sides, we're going to make the design at the bottom. So we're going to make 3 rows of mesh at the bottom. So you're going to use the color orange yarn, make a slip knot, and then you have to slip stitch at one of the ends. And then you have to chain 2, and then on the same stitch you have to double crochet, and then chain 1, and you have to skip that middle part of the double crochet of that previous row. Chain 1, skip the middle part of the double crochet. So basically we're doing the mesh design here. So you have to chain 1, skip the space or that middle part of the double crochet, and then you have to double crochet on that next stitch. So you just have to do this when you're on the side part, but once you're on the front part, edge of your top, it would be easier. So the pattern would still be chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and double crochet on the next stitch. You have to do this until you reach the other side of your top. I'm not sure if you can follow my instruction, but in any case, you're having a hard time with my instruction, you can just read the pattern that I also post on this video. Okay. So once you complete this row, you have to again repeat the same pattern. So you have to chain 3, and then you have to skip that space, and then double crochet on the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and double crochet on the next stitch. So I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to follow this, as it's easy to make that mesh design. So you have to make 3 rows of that. Now once you completed the 3 rows, we're going to make the ruffles at the bottom. So you skip 2 spaces of your mesh, and then on the 3rd space you have to place 10 double crochet. Now once you're done with your 10 double crochet, you have to skip that 1 space, and then single crochet on the next space, and then skip that next space, and then make 10 double crochet on the next space. So you just have to repeat the same pattern until the end of the row. Now once you already completed the ruffles at the bottom, we're going to start the edging on the side. So what you will need to do is you have to chain 1 so we can turn on the side, and then you have to make 2 single crochet on each row for the mesh part. And then you just have to make 1 single crochet on the next stitch once you reach that side part. Now once you're done with that single crochet and you reach that top part of your side, you have to chain 5. What we're going to do is we're going to make the lace hole where you're going to insert your lace. So after that, you have to skip 2 stitches and then single crochet on the 3rd stitch, and then you have to chain 4, and then after you chain 4, you just have to skip 2 stitches and then single crochet on the 3rd stitch. So you just have to use the same pattern, chain 4, skip 2 stitches, and then single crochet on the next stitch until you reach the end of the row. Now once you're done with that holes that we have created, what you will need to do is turn and then make 5 to 6 single crochet on each loop. This is to strengthen our holes. As you can see, we have already created the loop for our lace. Now once you completed all the loops, we're going to do the edging. So we're almost done. You just have to make single crochet along the edging. Now to make it more uniform, you just make not two double crochet, but 2 single crochet on each row. So just make that 2 double crochet, or not 2 double crochet, but 2 single crochet on each row. As you can see, you can also insert or hide your tails within that single crochet, so you don't have to do a lot of weaving after. So you have to do that. You have to do this until you reach this part around the neck. Okay. That top part of that mesh row in front. Now once we have completed that side, we're going to create the lace around the neck. Now on the mesh part, you still have to make 2 single crochet on each row. And then once you're done with that, what you will need to do is create that lace. So you have to chain 100, or if you want your lace to be longer, then you can add additional chains. So for this project, I chain 100, and then after that 100 chain, what you will need to do is slip stitch on each chain until you're back on the first chain and you're back on the base of the neck. Now once you completed that, what you will need to do is single crochet across the other end so you can make the lace on the other side. And then basically do the same thing that we have done on this side and do it on the other side, like the lace, the side edging, and the lace hole at the back side. You just have to repeat that same pattern. Now we're almost done, so you just have to complete the other side. And then you will need to make a lace for the back. So you just have to chain at least 300 or more for the back lace. And what I did is I used 8-ply yarn for this. Now as I mentioned, you can add rows if you would like to do a crop top instead. And that's it. So please don't forget to subscribe to Ruthie and Stitch. Like our videos. If you have any questions, just leave a message in the comment box below. Okay? Thank you. Now you can also follow me on my Facebook page at Ruthie and Stitch, and also on my